You complete me.
Give me one more chance, I'll fight. Let me put you in the side. I ain't got no time for you. I ain't shit, I live a life. I don't wanna be a bicycle guy. I fly so high, you can see me. I just wanna live a life on high alert. If I fucking feel it, then I fucking burn. If you try to fuck with me, I'll fucking put you in the dirt. Hit the gas, bitch, I'm out, look a bitch, give me burn, give me burn. 6 feet under, how you talking to me? Oh shit, I don't care, better run for the same. Big bitch, big cash, we gon' put away. Hey, kids not away, cause you know I'm slick. On me, only, I'm just smoking and break. Keep cushion, look good, I be hitting away. All we, I be laughing at me. All we, I be laughing at me. Ain't nothing even topping what I'm talking about. We be mopping on the street with artillery now. With the shit that we be dropping, they be popping a smile. Popping pussy, fucking bitch, I be all in the mouth.
It's me, Pottery Demon. Today, we got another video for you guys. Today, it's my Wednesday. My Wednesday's a really late night, so I can't throw. If I don't throw really, really early in the morning, I gotta throw really, really late. And it's just one of those late nights. It's gonna be up pretty late, so bear with me, but I'll keep my energy high for the pots. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Peace. I don't know, I think I'd be a little bit terrified. Alrighty, here we are. Again, you guys will get to see a little bit of my face. Not as much as that one day, but I don't know. We'll just make the pots. I kind of like these videos where you can kind of see more of the surroundings. I don't know, I think very often, my channel, you know, it's not about crisp objects, it's not about any of that stuff, right? My channel is really about just high intensity every single day consistency, right? Like, it's not about making something look really pretty, right? It's all about just bashing your head against that wall until eventually you break through the wall, you know? And so if you see this lights and all that stuff, like, I don't care, right? Like, why would that matter, you know? I think, like, for me, it's not about that. And I think so many people are trying to make content like that, and I think they lose something when they're making content like that, right? It becomes like, oh no, not in my mouth, please. I hate when the hair gets in my mouth. It's like the most annoying thing about having long hair. But the coolest thing I think that you have the opportunity to do, I don't even know what I was talking about. I think I was talking about how people make content, right, that all looks the same. Like, you go on the YouTube homepage, the content is just so, it feels like it was like generated by AI. I don't want to make content that feels like it's generated by AI. Is this, guys, what the fuck? It wasn't even on. I was centering the clay and it wasn't even on the pegs. I was wondering why it seemed to like move weird there for a second. Alright, anyway. And my clay, I left it out so it got pretty hard on one side, but the bottom was still moist. And so I hate that word, by the way. And so then I just put in I have a wet box with plaster poured in the bottom of it, and it's pretty damp. And then I just allowed all the clay to sort of get recombined with its wetness on there, and it actually turned out pretty good. Something I realized too that's kind of cool about this new setup that I heard when I was editing the videos is I was like, oh my gosh, guys, like, all of a sudden I can hear myself talk more than I can hear the wheel spin. And so this camera or this microphone is a directional, very, very directional. So you can't really hear this as much, this wheel spin, as much as what you used to when I just had the normal microphone in. So that was kind of a really interesting discovery that I found while I was editing. Again, I've had this cough ever since I was sick, like, I don't even know, probably like 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. I can't even remember now. Maybe 3 weeks ago. I was sick like 3 weeks ago. I've had this cough and it just has not gone away. It's really unfortunate. I think maybe I'm allergic to something. That's whatever. Okay. Down at the bottom here. Get my hair out of the fucking way. Alright, the first pull is kind of quick. It's all about getting that clay equalized. For the second pull, we're actually going to get some height. So we're going to bring in the wall a little bit, but it's a little bit off-center, so we're going to take that off-centered stuff out. Push this in. Have our hands over top. And in doing that, we can take this up. Nice. Okay, a little bit of water on the side, a little water on the outside here. Slowly collar it. It's nice. Okay, now we're going back to the bottom. Okay. Finger right underneath there, guys. Say hello to the pot. Say, what do you got down here for us? And when the clay is really stiff, it's going to want to launch upwards. So you just be ready to be gentle with the pot. I mean, easily you can make these into just jars or vases. Really, you could do anything, right? And I think I don't know, I think I get bored with that stuff. You know, realistically, I haven't been able to throw this tall at any point in my life more than what I can do now, right? So it's kind of funny that I finally reached this height, but I don't even want to make the things that I wanted to when I first started. It's kind of a funny little thing that's been happening, you know? Okay. And then do you see how my elbow tilted out? The other direction in which I'm pulling, right? It's almost acting like a little bit of a counterbalance for my pulls. Look at that, guys. Oh, I'm feeling the clay today, dudes. And it's at like the perfect hardness. I feel like we're gonna have some cool shit happening today. Right now, I'm in like some like back area of an apartment complex, right? Here we are. Say, hey, what's up? What are you doing in my apartment complex, bro? You gotta get out of here. This is my territory. And you're like a 12-year-old kid on a bike. I saw a video recently of some like some kids in, I'm assuming like Europe somewhere, and they're like some like scooter gang or something, and it's a bunch of kids on scooters that just go and harass people. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just can't imagine harassing people for no reason, first of all. But on a scooter, I feel like you're just begging to be made fun of if you're on a scooter, you know? But some of these kids probably had some pretty difficult like upbringings if you're just like harassing people on a scooter, you know what I mean? So sometimes, you know, I don't have sympathy for people who are like being like a nuisance to society, right? But you have to understand that your perspective and what you came from, right? You're like your upbringing and where you're at, you know, not everybody had that same experience. And so sometimes you have to be more patient with individuals, and you don't have to accept it, right? But you have to realize that they just have lived a different life, and you're not, just because you think that they're doing something wrong doesn't automatically give you the, you know, the moral high ground, even though you may think it does, right? I don't know if I explained that properly, but I think it's just important to, you know, if they're, obviously you shouldn't be harassing people, but you never know what's going on. So, and that's why I think I want to do this pottery thing, not for the scooter gang kids, maybe, who knows, but that sometimes people are really lost and they have no options and nowhere to go and nothing to turn to, right? And so I think is cool about the digital world is it gives you the ability to just throw your stuff out there and see if it connects with people, right? And it also gives you the ability to just grind your heart out and be able to just like show people what you're grinding towards, right? And a lot of times we grind in silence, and there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes in a lot of these videos, and how I can just like throw every day that you guys don't get to see, that for me it's pretty grueling, you know? But you gotta do that stuff. You gotta do that stuff like you love it, right? And so it's whatever your dream is that you imagine. It's not what it's gonna be in like reality, right? But sometimes you gotta, I don't know, take something you like and then turn it into some tonic for the poison of the world, some shit. I don't know, I feel like I'm quoting something wrong there, but essentially what that quote was saying is that you can drown out like suffering, right, by embracing it fully and using whatever you find value in as a tonic for it. It's not a solution, you know, but it's like really embodying that suffering through where you find meaning. I don't know if that really, hope that makes sense for you guys. I'm taking these out. I think this pot just looks fucking crazy. Jesus Christ. Are you fucking kidding me? I did not just push that in like that. I didn't make a really bad curve or anything. It was just kind of irritating. Okay, so there we go. Number one. This thing is next level, guys. Look at that. Okay. The four tendrils, they turn out some pretty some pretty cool pots. Okay, here we are. I keep seeing horses everywhere, guys. I've been making those chess pieces, right? And I just am seeing them everywhere. It's kind of crazy how much I'm seeing them. I even this coffee shop that I always walk past, there's like a strategy, I'm assuming something with financial strategy thing, and they use the knight, right, as the thing that's in their logo, right? And then I see like ceramic small horses that aren't mine, that aren't chess pieces, right? And then I learned how to say, you know, the Chinese word for horse, or like little horse, is xiaoma, right? It's also that one guy who's like a famous YouTuber. His name is Xiaoma. Okay. So down and up, and this clay is hard. You see how it's not wanting to stay as a centered thing, it's really wanting to get in that oval. So we're just going to work with that clay until we can get it, hey, chill out, get out of my hair, until we can get it to a point where it's wanting to kind of be a little bit more malleable. And you can see like right here, there's this like weird rip and bubble there. And so you can see when I'm doing that, I'm not pushing anything towards center. What I'm doing is I'm bringing my hands across each other. The way I explained it earlier in my one of my classes was like, imagine it's like driving in traffic, right? Like you have oncoming traffic and outgoing traffic, right? This is your oncoming traffic and outgoing traffic. And they're almost skating past each other. Okay. Alright. I feel like this is the most I can do without it getting kind of monotonous. I feel like there's an air bubble in there, but hopefully we hit it on the way down or open, we'll be kind of set. You can even see some of the air bubble here already. Okay, let's see if we can get rid of it. Nope. Okay. It's okay. Okay. Bring this clay up. First pull. Llama pull. Really thin that middle part. I feel like it's going to rip there. It's really unfortunate. But let's see what we can do here. Down at the bottom here. Some bubbles. Whatever. These little bubbles, it's so annoying. Okay. Down at the bottom. Take some of that clay out. Unfortunately, we have to do one more pull. Don't get scared when you see those wobbles, guys. Finish off your pull strong. Okay, so we got as much as we could out of this. This is actually, there's some really thin parts here. I'm surprised we even got it that tall, but you can see there's a bunch of wobbly shit all in there. Get some of this water out the center. And then we're going to go right into the pull, or the undulations here, the veins. I ripped it, but we're going to keep it going here. I'm not going to go too much more because it's going to want to really rip out, but there's something cool happening on the inside. But overall, it's definitely not as good as the first one there. I think the main problem was I probably could have done 2 lines instead of, do you see how there's that one? So I think we're going to have to do some cut tendrils here, and we're going to have to make something interesting happen on that one side. And we just got to make sure it's not going to tip over and fall on us right now, because it's starting to look like that. Okay. two things interacting with each other right on this top. This side. Have something kind of unique on that side. We can just have a lean. We just want that lean to be supported. Okay. Anymore and it would collapse. Ideally, I would have a torch and you could spray and hit this middle section to a point where it gets too hard. Not too hard, hard enough where I can put more tension on the top. And I also just gotta be wary because if I'm looking at it, right, do you guys see it's slowly moving and it's tilting? So watch, we'll see it collapse here. So I just gotta get my hands wiped off and I'm ready to catch this thing. Okay. that right back on center. Give it one more twist. Shake it a little bit downward so then it can catch on another little ledge, right? That's why these tendrils or these veins are so important, because they actually become structure for the piece that's underneath or in the middle there, right? I would take more clay out this bottom section here, but I am a little bit wary that I don't want to disturb the form. And hey, is it moving again? No, we're good for a second. I gotta keep my eye on it though. So this is actually a pretty unique collapse. You know, there's some weird stuff happening on it. So we actually want to try to save it if we can. Chances are when I come in and see it in the morning, it's going to be totally... Oh, hey. So I'm going to just collapse this in so I get some of that weight back over on this left part here. Maybe that will help it out. Oh, I had to drop my sponge. You falling again, bro? Oh, you little rat. You gotta stop that. You know what? Pull that down. Now it's not going to move at all. We kind of killed the form and the top rim there, but that's okay for me right now. Like when I see these pots, I was actually looking at some Korean pottery the other day. This Korean woman, she brought in a book. She brought in this book for me to look at, right? And I was looking through it and I saw, you know, the typical... the dragon pots, you know, 3-claw prince, 5-claw emperor stuff. And then all of a sudden I saw another version of the dragons. But all the dragons looked like they were like haphazardly set on there, right? They almost looked like gestures of a dragon, or what I like to say, like some kid drew caterpillars on the side, and then some dude came back and just made them into dragons, right? They looked really, really awesome. And so I've been thinking about how I'd make a pot that looks kind of like a dragon. And so part of me is wondering if maybe I can start really influencing the way that these collapse in a more intelligent way, other than purposely, you know, setting up my pots for failure. Man, this is really dilapidated now. What if I purposely set my pots up to be like this, right? And how many would I have to make for it to be intentional? Or what do I have to add to the pots now? Because now, since I've been throwing parts, what's stopping me from making a couple of parts at the very beginning of each throwing session? Holy fuck, that's such a good idea. Making a couple of parts with just one chunk of the clay that I'm using, and then adding those parts on as adornments to be attached to the pot right away, right? What a cool idea would that be? So I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to do a couple of them maybe and see how it looks, because maybe they're not going to work out, but yeah, who knows. Really wacky form here. Really weird pot, but also kind of cool pot. I mean, my walls are so thin on this, so sometimes there's a balance between having thin walls and then having walls that can support. I went a little bit too thin there, but I kind of like the result. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. All the best. Shawn Mentality. I gotta go edit these now. It's gonna be late night. But thanks, guys. Peace. Peace out.